Assalamu alaikum. Lines of the Salaf was having trouble joining in. For some reason. So we're waiting for Lines of the Salaf. Will be started in a few. So basically, before he joins, I think let me give a little introduction. Okay, he's here already. So, yes, exactly. Nice to have you, brother Bello. Are you with us? I think he's having some technical issue. So, everything set? Yeah, you would have to speak up. We can't hear you. We can't hear you at all.
Apologies. I muted my mic unknowingly.
Okay, I was just introducing the program.
No.
So this is Aqida and Poetry Lines of the Salaf, the first of its kind, where we discuss uh, poems that encapsulate our creed system. Then we kind of decode them layer by layer, lines by line. And for our first episode, we're going to be discussing Laamiyyah, which is a famous poem by a personality known as Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. And he's called Shaykh well, let me just leave it to our guest because obviously he'll be doing most of the talking. Over to you, Lines of the Salaf.
So just give me I don't know. I'm having troubles here.
Okay, so before he sets like I mentioned, the personality is known of Ibn Taymiyyah, and he was said to have authored the poem 16 lines of Laamiyyah, and it is called Laamiyyah because at the very end of each line it ends with a lam. So the Arabs have this culture of calling poetry by what it ends with. We have Nuniyah, Mimiyah, the rest. So this Laamiyyah that has 16 lines encapsulates the creed, the Islamic creed, and talks about the foundation itself. And it's almost like, even from the beginning of the first line, it's almost like someone is asking him about his own creed. And he's saying that this is my creed. And then he goes ahead and discusses, he renders the poem. But so we'll dissect it as much as we can in the little time we have. I don't know what's wrong with our guest. Okay. Let me ask what's going on. So you're back. Everything set on your side? Okay. Apologies for the delay. I will try as much as possible. When it comes to this kind of stuff, the very first one is not as doesn't always go as you plan. Set. Can we start?
I think so. Um, if you can hear me,
All right.
so
So, okay, go ahead. Just tell us a little about the poet, the author, the scholar, and then we will dive right in. Okay. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
What's going on?
Can you hear me? I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually.
Is it that it's taking you out of the live, or what's going on?
Kind of. It's just like it's on and off, on and off. So I'm not
Network?
sure what's happening. But I'm not sure if it's the network because but maybe.
Okay, go ahead. Oh my God. So,
Can you hear me?
yeah. So I think to not waste time, I will just share it as much as I can, even though he is the one to take control of most of it, but I will do what I can. Basically, he's the expert here because he's quite good when it comes to poems like this. He himself is a poet, but nonetheless, they say, as the Arabs say, uh, what was that saying? Uh, I'll just keep this here. So, ما لا يدرك جله لا يترك جله. If you can get everything as a whole as it is, then you should live it completely. So since we don't, we haven't gotten what we wanted as expected. So what you're going to talk about the, I'm just going to talk about the poem as much as I can. I will first render it, and then afterwards I will explain it. يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي يذيق الهدى من لله يذيق الهدى يذيق الهدى من للهداية يسأل. اسمع كلام المحقق في قوله لا يثنى عنه ولا يتبدل. حب الصحابة كلهم لي مذهب ومودة القربى بها أتوسل. ولكلهم قدر وفضل سائع لكنما الصديق منهم أفضل. أقول في القرآن ما جاءت به آياته فهو القديم المنزل. ولا أكفر مسلما بذنبه ولا أرى كفرا به يتأول. والله ربي لا أشرك به شيئا وبالإخلاص دائما أعمل. وأقر أن الله جل جلاله فوق السماوات الأولى يتعالى على عرشه استوى كما في وحيه من غير تكييف ولا تمثيل. والله قد كلم الكليم بقوله وأتى بالفرقان وهو المنزل. والمؤمن يرون ربهم يوم القيامة كما قد ينقل. ولا أقول بقول الخوارج الذي قد قاله متشدد المتندئ. ولا بقوله الرافد الذين تبرؤوا من خيار سحيب محمد وتنقلوا. بل أتولى السحب والآل جميعهم وأكفو أما شجروا وأجملوا. هذه عقيدتي وهي التي قد دان بها أهل الهدى وأفضلوا. فإن تكن مثلي آلاء هذه الهدى فقد استم فقد است فقد استقمت وإني أبيت فضلا. So basically, as you notice, and at the end of every line, there's a L sound, a lam sound. يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي رزق الهدى من الهداية يسأل. So that's يسأل, that L sound, that lam sound is what is called Laamiyyah. So we're going to take it line by line. The very first line is يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي. يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي. Are you back?
Inshallah, I believe so. Hopefully it doesn't. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I think I'm good for now.
So go ahead.
Yes. Can you ask the question? I don't think I clearly heard
A,
the question.
a brief about the scholar. A brief about the scholar, and then you render the poetry.
No, okay. So the book we are looking at is it's called Laamiyyah Ibn Taymiyyah, but although there's mostly attributed to him, but there are people that argue that it's not from him. So there's that, but it's generally known to be accepted or attributed to Ibn Taymiyyah. Now, who is Ibn Taymiyyah? Ibn Taymiyyah, his full name is Taqiyuddin Ahmed Ibn Abdul Halim Ibn Taymiyyah al Harrani. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Go on. We're having this problem again.
I do not know why. This is okay. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's the internet, but I'm not sure if it is the internet.
Are you
Are
connected to
you
a
connected
Wi-Fi?
to a Wi-Fi? Yes, I am connected to a Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
that's
it.
probably
You should
it.
have
You
used
should have
the
used the
network SIM.
network SIM. The problem I don't have much internet, so I usually use my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I also use my Wi-Fi, but just for
Apologies,
this,
anyways,
so that
everyone.
we won't have this problem. So don't worry, go on. Since we already have you, let's not dwell on the past. Go on, just keep going. All right.
I honestly don't know what's going on right now because normally this internet works pristinely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When it comes
When
to
it comes
light,
to
though, it's a
life,
whole
though,
new
it's a
world.
whole new. Yeah, and also I
So don't worry, just
so
keep
don't worry,
going,
just
keep going.
keep going,
So
keep going. So
Taqiyuddin
Din
Ahmad bin
Ahmed
al-Hadi,
bin Hadid
Salam
Salam
al-Harrani.
al-Harrani. No, al-Harrani. Uh, he was born in Harran is a place in
Oh my God. So since we don't have him, I think I'll just continue. Uh, so basically, basically, what's going to happen is I'll just recite the poem, explain it as much as I can. Uh, Maybe some other time we'll prepare better. As they say, once bitten, twice shy. So the first line, as I was stating earlier, يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي رزق الهدى من للهداية يسأل, is saying that, oh, you who want to know about my belief system, my creed, my methodology, then first know that the guidance is granted to the one who seeks it. It's always out for the taking. اسمع كلام محقق في قوله. Listen to the words of one precise in his speech. Back.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I think so. So I switched to my phone
You say what?
I think the quality is a bit lower, but if you can hear it's fine.
Yeah, I
Or
think
let
so. You just go on.
maybe the let me can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I don't know what did you hear last that I said?
Yeah, just give us since we're already almost out of time. Just give us a brief about the scholar, and then we go through the poem. Just a brief,
Okay.
who
So
he is.
yeah. Yeah, so as I was saying, he was born in a city called Harran. That's the Harrani of his name. Harrani. Harran is a place, is a city in present day Turkey. During a really turbulent time. He was born in a period where the Mongols. Yeah, so he writes he has had his fair share of the fight with Mongols, and then they were on the streak of conquering places. So like he was born in in Haran, but they had to move away from Haran because of the war, and then so they fled to Damascus.
Yeah, I think we've lost you again. We lost you there.
Yes, I to be very, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, maybe we should reschedule, but if you're still going, let us continue. Yes, as I was saying, I said he led to Damascus, and that was where he basically grew up. Um, he comes from a family of scholars. His father was a scholar, his grandfather was a scholar, and he since when he was young, he actually showed that extraordinary signs of intelligence and sharp memory. And of course, he memorized the Quran at a very young age. Um, so he he's a one of a kind actually. There's no doubt about his the sharpness of his mind, the clarity of the mind as well. He is there's a lot of things that has been said about him, and so I'm just you can actually Google the list is you can go Google and find some of this information about him. He Of course, he's one of the people that the scholar wrote العلماء العزاب الذين عثروا العلم على الزواج that basically didn't but died at bachelor. He died as bachelor. Um, yeah. So and he died in prison as he was narrated. He died in prison reading the Quran. So it was such a beautiful ending. And towards the end of his life, he wished he did more Quran. He read more Quran. He spent more time with the Quran. Um, now towards that he had that wish that he wish he didn't sort of dabble into some things. He wish he had just spent a lot of time with the Quran. So
Let me
that's
add
just
one. Let me
no,
add one thing so that our viewers won't think that perhaps he was very lagging and lacking in terms of his relationship with the Quran. So even from
no,
the name Sheikh of Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, the Sheikh of Islam actually means a personality that has done a great deal for the religion itself, and that is why he had that title. Not very many people have that title of Sheikh of Islam. So there's no subject except that you will find that
no,
he's a scholar, that he is the very end in terms of that. So what he meant by that he had wasted his time in Gaira Ma'an al-Quran is almost like saying that all the other subjects, all the other sections of the knowledge he would have just thrown them out and focused just on the Quran because of how tasteful and amazing he found it to be. So that was just an addition to that. And then I think we can jump in to the poem. Not too time.
Yeah, I think if I on my video, it sort of affects my connection. So let me just, I think I'm going to just turn it off for a while and see if that works.
Okay, go on. Yeah, go on
Yeah,
with the
so
poem.
let's just go into the poem, right? We've spent a lot of time dabbling. So I'm just going
We
to go
lost
into
you again.
poem. We've spent a lot of time. Um, uh,
Yeah, go on.
يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي رزق الهدى من للهداية يسأل. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on. Just render it from beginning to end.
Okay. يا سائلي عن مذهبي وعقيدتي رزق الهدى من للهداية يسأل. اسمع كلام محقق في قوله لا ينثني عنه ولا يتبدل. حب الصحابة كلهم لي مذهب ومودة القربى بها أتوصل ولكلهم قدر على وفضائل لكنما الصديق منهم أفضل. Although there's a nukta that you can see a different reading there. ولكم قدر على وفضائل. There's a place where you see something different in other texts. But that when
Okay.
I was
Okay.
learning it, yeah, I learned it like that. ولكلهم قدر على وفضائل. But you can
All
see
right, go on.
ولكلهم قدر وفضل ساطع. There's a nukta like that. لكنما الصديق
All
منهم
right.
أفضل. وأقول قال الله جل وأقول في القرآن ما جاءت به آياته فهو الكريم المنزل. وأقول قال الله جل جلاله والمصطفى الهادي ولا
فهو
أتأول.
is it آياته فهو القديم المنزل or come again with that.
وأقول في القرآن ما جاءت به آياته فهو
Okay.
الكريم المنزل.
That's
وأقول
قديم, right?
no, you said
Okay, I think I
yours
have
is
another variation. And in mine is Kadimu, but go on. Don't worry. Forget about the variation. Just render it from beginning to end.
okay.
وأقول
وأقول قال الله جل جلاله والمصطفى الهادي
في
ولا
القرآن.
أتأول. وجميع
I think she went
آيات
back to
sorry.
وأقول في القرآن ما جاءت به.
Okay, وأقول في القرآن ما جاءت به آياته فهو
Yes.
الكريم المنزل. وأقول قال
Now,
الله جل جلاله والمصطفى الهادي لا أتأول. وجميع آيات الصفات
come
وجميع
again with
آيات الصفات نعم.
أمرها go on.
وجميع آيات الصفات أمرها
أمرها.
حقا.
أيوة.
نعم أمرها. وجميع آيات الصفات أمرها حقا كما نقل الطراز الأول. وأرد عدتها إلى نقالها وأصونها عن كل ما يتخيل. قبحا لما نبذ القرآن وراءه. Although it's written as Qur'ana, but for reading sake it's read as Qur'ana. قبحا لما نبذ القرآن وراءه وإذا استدل والمؤمنون
We lost you
يرون.
again. Come again
Sorry.
with قال الأخضر. We lost.
Okay. قبحا
قال
لما
الأخضر.
نقب Now, okay, I'm reading it from the first. لا. قبحا لما نبذ
Oh.
القرآن وراءه وإذا استدل يقول قال الأخطل
Mm.
والمؤمنون يرون حقا ربهم وإلى السماء بغير كيف ينزل
Mm.
وقر بالميزان والحوض الذي أرجو بأني منه ريا أنهل.
Mm.
Although you can it could be read أرجو بأني منه ريا أنهل. وكذا الصراط يمد فوق جهنم فمسلم ناج وآخر يهمل
Mm.
والنار يصلاها الشقي بحكمة وكذا التقي إلى الجنان سيدخل
Mm.
ولكل حي عاقل في قبره عمل يقارنه هناك ويسأل.
Mm.
هذا اعتقاد الشافعي ومالك وأبي حنيفة ثم أحمد ينقل فإن اتبعت
Okay.
سبيلهم فموفق
Mm.
فإن ابتدعت فما عليك معول.
أول. So that was a wonderful one.
نعم.
So let's start from the beginning. Yes, Ili, and then he give us the meaning and perhaps a little bit of a context or where context are required.
نعم.
Go on.
So those were the lines. So should we
Yeah,
go?
go on with yeah, with the explanation.
Okay, so um, the Sheikh started with Ya Sa'ili and Madhabi wa Aqidati. So it was said that when he wrote this poem, some people were sort of questioning his Aqidah.
Mm.
That's his creed. What did he
Yeah.
believe in, and stuff like that. And so he starts saying, "O one who asks about my doctrine and creed." So that's the Aqidah part. رزق
Yeah.
الهدى.
The belief system.
Sorry? Yeah, the beliefs. Yeah.
The belief system, methodology, and belief system. The one who asks about my methodology and belief system. Here's the
Yes.
answer for you. So we go to the second line.
Yeah. So he said, رزق الهدى من للهداية يسأل. So it's sort of like it's like a prayer or a reminder that certainly whoever asks for guidance will be bestowed that guidance. So if you ask for guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala,
Mm.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would guide you.
Mm.
So then he said, اسمع كلام محقق في قوله, saying, listen to the speech of one who has ascertained the truth of this of his statement, meaning that he's confident of what he's saying without an
Okay.
ounce of doubt.
Yeah, we lost you there. لا
Yes.
ينثني.
لا ينثني عنه ولا يتبدل. He's saying without departing from it, nor replacing it with something else. That's his speech. He's on that speech. He
Mm.
is it's a truthful speech, right? حب الصحابة
Mm. Mm.
كلهم لمذهبه. Love of the Sahaba, love of the companions, because of course there are people that do not love the Sahabas, and so it was part of the things that he was being, lied against, that he doesn't love the Sahaba and stuff like that.
So how important is it to actually love the companions? So I think let's be throwing in, commentary on each line as we go, so that we don't have to come again. So
No,
did you get my question?
no, no. I think I lost you there.
Yeah. So I said, how important is it to actually love the Sahaba? Is it part of the religion to love the Sahaba, or your religion can actually stand without doing anything with the companions of the prophets?
No. So, as scholars say, you cannot discern, you cannot take away your religion from the Sahabas. Once you you have a way that you dissociate yourself from the Sahabas, you're sort of dissociating yourself from religion because every aspect.
Came through them because they give their contribution and service to the religion. And for anyone curious, Sahaba means the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, who were always by his sides and helped him in taking the religion to a level it was taken to. So in the Quran you have in your hands, where because of their transmissions, and the hadith you read to learn your prayer is because of the transmissions of the Sahaba, their work and efforts. So, so it's very important. That is why the scholar also said, "Hubbu Sahaba," loving them, because if you don't love them, how then can you follow that statement? So he said, "Wa mawaddatu."
حب الصحابة. I don't think I read that line. حب الصحابة
Yeah,
كلهم
you
لي
did. That's why
مذهب.
I asked you about it.
That
So go
loving the
on.
companions.
Mm. Yeah, are you back? Are you back?
Yes, apologies for this back and forth. Um,
Okay.
yes, so he's talking about his madhab, his methodology, what he believes in, what he follows, is a lot of companions.
Mm. Mm.
It's integrate to what he follows.
Mm.
And then he said, وَمَوَدَّةُ
Go on.
الْقُرْبَى بِهَا أَتَوَصَّلُ, meaning that, and the love of the nearest ones, that's Ahlul Bayt, right? That's the closest people of the Prophet ﷺ,
Mm.
the family and direct family and extended family.
Mm.
Ali Ja'far, Aqil, Al Abbas, all
Mm.
the then his own family.
Mm.
Yeah, so those are the Ahlul Bayt, right? And so he think even he uses the love that he has to the nearest ones to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Mm.
That he's saying, "Biha atawassalu." That do I seek as a means of nearest to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala?
Since it's worship, because the
Yes,
Muslim
yes,
believe that you
yeah.
don't seek closeness or nearest or using bridge to Allah with anything that is not al-iman wal-amal salih, الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. So because the love itself is an action, you can use it. This is quite different from calling someone's name just because he's righteous or because he's dead and you think he's a saint, and then you ask him for something from through him from Allah. That is forbidden. So this is quite different. Go on. ولكلهم.
ولكلهم قدر.
Sorry.
ولكلهم قدر على وفضائل. ولكلهم قدر وفضل ساطع. It almost means the same thing. And every single one of the
Mm-hmm.
Sahabas,
Mm.
قدر أو فضل, has a station, right? Has a
Okay.
hierarchy, has
Mm.
has a
Mm. Yeah. Understood. So لكنما الصديق لكنما الصديق
لكنما
منه
الصديق
أفضل.
منهم أفضل. However, it is they're saying amongst first there's the first. So
Mm.
لكنما الصديق منهم أفضل.
Mm.
However, amongst them, Abu
So
Bakr as-Siddiq
mm.
is the most excellent.
Mm. Mm. This has been
Um,
corroborated by the Prophet
of course,
himself
if we are going
in a number
into
of hadith.
his sort of
We lost you again. We lost you again. So like إنما الصديق منه أفضل, because the Abu Bakr who is nicknamed as Siddiq, the right man of the Prophet ﷺ, is known as Abu Bakr as Siddiq. He is the best of the best in this nation after the Prophet ﷺ. This has been corroborated by a number of hadith. The Prophet praising him and Allah mentioning him as his companion in the Quran. So that is Abu Bakr as Siddiq. منهم أفضل is the best of the best. So وأقر بالقرآن.
وأقول في القرآن ما جاءت به.
Mm. وأقر أو أقول. So in my own I have أقر, but perhaps it might mean the same thing. وأقر بالقرآن ما جاءت به, and then I confirm and restate what the Quran comes with, whatever Allah Himself mentioned in terms of speech, وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا, or in terms of story, or in terms of jurisprudence, law, and order, then I say it as well. I believe in it 100%. So that is what it means. بِالْقُرْآنِ مَا جَاءَتْ بِهِ آيَاتُهُ فهو الكريم المنزل. Go on.
So the Sheikh is talking about,
آياته.
of course, that's
So I think آياته فهو الكريم المنزل. The verses, the statements, the words of Allah, فهو الكريم, he affirms that he is the most generous. منزل. وأقول قال الله جل جلاله, and I, time and again, I reconfirm and confirm what Allah states جل جلاله. والمصطفى هادي ولا أتأول. And the Prophet himself is the guidance, the way to the truth. ولا أتأول, I do not go away from this fact. وجميع آيات الصفات أمرها, and every verses that contain the attributes of Allah, I pass by it حقا كما نقال الإيراد الأول. I stick to their meaning. I do not take them away and say, how can you say that Allah gets angry, or Allah comes down at the very last portion of the night, or that He laughs, or any other attribute that we hear in the Quran or the Hadith. We are not going to say it out, even though He Himself stated it in the Quran, or He stated it via the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he is saying that I am going to say it and stand by it just as the first generation of Muslims did. I'm not gonna change the meaning. لا تمثيلا ولا تعليلا ولا تكييفا ولا تحريفا. I'm not going to change their meanings or negate what you stand with. So, Lines of the Salaf, are you back?
No. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. My network is just terrible, I guess.
So you continue from Wa'arudu. Wa'arudu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said where did you stop?
Wa'arudu.
Okay, وأرد عدتها إلى نقالها,
Yeah.
and I return the obligatory responsibilities towards them to those who transmitted them.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
intact. That's talk about others.
Mm. Companions. Mm. Are you back? Okay. Are you back? وأصونها.
وأصونها عن كل ما يتخيل, and I protect them from all that is imagined with, because that's with respect to the realities.
Yeah, it seems like you're breaking. Are you far from the recorder? Or you're
Can you hear
walking?
me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. وأصونها.
وأصونها عن كل ما يتخيل.
Mm.
And so he said, and he protects them, and I protect them from all that is imagined.
Mm.
That is
That he protects them from that all that is imagined. قبحا لمن نبذ القرآن وراءه وأصونها.
وأصونها عن كل ما يتخيل.
Mm.
And can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Yes, and I protect them. That is وأصونها عن كل ما يتخيل,
Mm.
and I protect them from all that is imagined. That is with respect to their realities. Right? So he's just basically trying to protect them and their honor.
Okay.
So he said,
قبحا.
قبحا لمن نبذ القرآن وراءه.
Yeah.
That disgrace for the person who threw the Quran behind his back. That is neglects the Quran.
Mm.
وإذا استدل يقول قال الأخطل. And when asked to provide an evidence, it says أخطل. You know, قال الأخطل. أخطل is a person, right? So it says قال الأخطل. It's like Socrates said, Hippocrates or Hippocrates said. No.
Einstein said, Adam Smith said, instead of saying
Yes.
Allah said or the Prophet mentioned. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. So no.
So والمؤمنون
والمؤمنون يرون حقا ربهم.
ما شاء الله.
So he's going towards some Aqidah related issues here. And say, well, mu'minuna
Yeah.
yarawna rabbahum, and that the believers will see their Lord in truth, haqiqatan,
Mm.
in the hereafter,
That we shall see Allah, inshallah.
inshallah.
Mm.
وإلى السماء
وإلى
بغير
السماء.
كيف ينزل, and to the heavens does he descend. So without designating how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends. As the hadith talked about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming on every last of the night.
Mm.
And so
Yeah. So it's almost like the Sheikh is hinting.
without kayf, no.
Yes,
No.
without yet talking about the how. So it's almost like saying we can attribute a sifa, we can attribute a attribute to Allah and say that He loves, He hates, He gets
No.
angry, He does that, but we don't have to explain how He does it because we have never seen Him, and because we have never seen Him, we
No.
can just say yes, He has this attribute.
No.
Just like
No.
there's an example that Sheikh Walid once mentioned. He said, Sheikh Walid Saidan, he said that I can tell you that I have a house by the end of the river. But yes, you can confirm that I have a house at the end of the river, but you don't know how it looks like. So you can know something without actually knowing how it looks like. So it's possible to
No.
for that to happen. So that's a good example on that.
No. Yeah. No. And then
وَقِرْ
he continued by saying, وَأَقِرُّ بِالْمِيزَانِ وَالْحَوْضِ الَّذِي. And then he's saying
mm,
that he affirms that I affirm the skills. Al-Mizan, that there's a skill. And wal-hawd, the
mm,
hawd of Prophet ﷺ, that Prophet ﷺ would drink from.
mm,
And so he's saying that he affirms that those are things that are existent, right? Those are real
mm,
things. That he believes in those
mm.
things.
Yeah.
أرجو بأني منه ريا أنال أو ريا. Like he said that
Yeah.
I hope to be amongst those whose thirst will be quenched, of course, by the how.
Inshallah.
That's the pool, or inshallah ta'ala.
That was attributed to the Prophet ﷺ. He possesses
Sallallahu
it,
alaihi
and then only those who believe are going to drink from that pool. May Allah make us among them. And then the Mizan
wasallam.
is the scale upon which good and bad deeds are going to be weighed on the day of judgment. If your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, then abshir. Allah has given you good glad tidings that you are going to enter the Jannah and His eternal pleasure.
No.
Now, وكذا
Um, وَكَذَا الصِّرَاطُ يَمُدُّ فَوْقَ جَهَنَّمِ.
mm,
And that's likewise, he affirms the bridge extended over the hellfire.
mm.
Because that's, we know
So
that
the
the Sirat is over the Jahannam, and then everybody would pass through
mm,
it. Everybody would cross through it.
through it,
No.
cross through it on the day of
فَمُسَلَّمٌ
judgment. Yeah.
نَاجٍ وَآخَرُ يُهْمَلُ. No. That, so either one is made safe and delivered from it. So Najin, you scale through.
Mm,
وآخر يهمل, or
mm,
the other person or another person is forsaken, who will fall.
mm. And false.
No.
May Allah make us among the former.
I mean,
والنار يصلاها الشقي بحكمة والنار يصلاها الشقي بحكمة.
no. I was switching device, sorry. والنار يصلح الشقي
Yeah.
بحكمة. الشقي is the wretched one who has خ- or خفرة, right? He has lost. So the wretched one, or the wretched one, will be burned in the fire by divine wisdom.
Mm. So it's almost like saying that every action of Allah, there's wisdom behind it, even if you cannot see the wisdom. There's no action that He does. The killings in a country, the rampant, whatever action that's been done, that you think is bad, and where is the divine God to partake? How do I put this? Where's the divine intervention from God? If God exists, He should have done something very long time ago. Whatever Allah does, there's wisdom. Even born in those who disbelieve in Him in hell, or putting them in hell, is also a wisdom. Just like when a doctor holds down a 5-year old to inject him, that 5-year old might hate that doctor. But that injection that he does for him is because of a wisdom. He might not see it, but that's the wisdom. There's a wisdom so that that disease won't kill him. That operation is going through won't kill him. So if human beings, in terms of their action, that we can see wisdom, what then do you think about the Lord of human beings? And that is what's meant by بحكمة أي الشقي بحكمة وقال التقي. Welcome back.
No, وَكَذَا التَّقِيُّ. And he's saying, and also the person, or and likewise, وَكَذَا, and likewise, التَّقِيُّ إِلَى الْجِنَانِ سَيَدْخُلُ, by divine wisdom, that
The
the same
righteous
wisdom
one
that
will enter paradise.
yes, the same wisdom that the righteous one is burned in fire. Also, that likewise, that divine wisdom, the pious one will enter Jannah, the garden, Jannah's
Paradise.
gardens, of course. So
Guidance.
Jinan,
نعم.
yes, the gardens. Allah.
Yes. جمع لا.
Yeah.
Go
وَلِكُلِّ
on.
حَيٍّ عَاقِلٍ. No, sorry,
Go on. Go on. ولكل حي عاقل.
no. وَلِكُلِّ حَيٍّ عَاقِلٍ في قبره.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he's saying, and every حَيٍّ عَاقِل, every mentally sound living person, في قبره,
Mm.
will have in his grave عمل, his deed, يقارنه, to accompany him هناك ويسأل. So his deeds will
Mm.
accompany him, and for which he will be questioned. So everything that you
Mm.
do whilst you're alive, remember that those things, those deeds will be your companions, and
Mm.
and you'll be questioned on those deeds.
نعم.
And so he sort of ties everything back to the Aqidah of the Ahlul Sunnah. He said, هذا اعتقاد الشافعي
Mm.
ومالك. This is the creed. This is what the creed of Imam Shafi'i ومالك, and Imam
Mm.
Malik
Mm.
وأبي حنيفة and Abu Hanifa ثم أحمد
Mm.
ينقل. Then Ahmad has been transmitted. And so all of the major Imams of the Madahib, this
Mm.
all I can mention, these are the Aqidah.
That is the Aqidah. So this major school of thoughts all have this belief in terms of their
Yes, the
belief
major.
system.
Now,
Nice.
فإن اتبعت
MashaAllah.
سبيلهم فمتقوا. And he said, if you follow their path, then success have you been granted.
Mm.
You've been granted success.
Now.
وإن وإن ابتدعت, and that if you innovate and then you bring something new,
Mm.
فما عليك معول, then no support whatsoever do you have.
Na'am.
because this is what people tell me.
MashaAllah.
This is now.
So that's the end, right? The end of the poem.
Now that's the end of the poem. Even though it took us a millennia to get there.
So Alhamdulillah. So basically we have learned what Laamiyyah is and why it's called Laamiyyah, as I mentioned earlier, because of the endings, as you have noticed. And
Sorry.
we with this we know the creed of the Muslim in terms of Allah, in terms of paradise, in terms of Quran, in terms of the companions, in terms of the Ahlul Bayti, and that in terms of the attributes of Allah, and that this belief system is what all the Muslim before the the major personalities that we know in Islam, like Ahmed bin Hanbal, Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, who are the major school of thought you hear, Hanafiya, Malikiya, Shafi'iyya, they all have this belief. So knowing it and sticking by it without changing its meaning, it's what is going to grant you the wishes and the blessings you hear in the as stated in the poem. So with this, I think it brings us to the end of the poem. Inshallah, we're going to bring more poems and with better presentations, with better everything, inshallah, so that we're going to benefit all together. And I think with that, we should end it, except if there's someone who has a question to ask. All right, I don't think we we have a question. So, any final thing to say before we close it?
Nothing from my end. Just that because the issue of Aqidah is really important, even if you are sort of if your Aqidah is not clear to people, you should try to clarify the Aqidah that you have. It's really important. Um,
Mm.
that people know what is your Aqidah, and so that you're not wrongly um. If it's really important that you try to clarify, as the Sheikh has done here, based on what said.
Mm. Which is almost like the first line he stated, Yasa idea al Mazhabi. Or you who's asking
Yes,
about my Aqidah. Well, here it is, plain and simple.
yes. So if you're asked, be very bold about it. There's no need to be um, shy, or
Yeah.
you should be confident and clarify, so that maybe during that clarification you might educate someone.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, Lions of the Salaf. Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakallah
Inshallah, we're going
khairah.
to.
Maybe I might do a better rendition for the poem and upload it.
Inshallah, that is the plan.
That will be
Jazakumullah
for
khairan. I think we should call it a day. We have passed the benchmark we have set, but obviously this is the first, so we learn from the past every day, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.